Okay, so today we have the continuation of the last session, that is what post-structuralist critics do. Okay, so post-structuralism as a theory, you have come to know the major premise, major tenets of the same. Okay, that is they are against the structuralist notion that language is the ultimate reality or there is nothing beyond linguistic processing. But with some examples itself, we came to notice down how floating free language is, with the semantic changes, with the many other or many other different meanings possible with the one word, and how drastically the whole conversational tone can change. And that is the way we described post-structuralism and the tendency on their part to be suspectable about language, or the capability of language to communicate anything and everything without failing the person who is using it, or person who is making use of language as a medium of communication. Okay, that presentation, please make that page visible. What the post-structuralist critics do, I sent you the file before beginning into your group itself. Please make it visible. Who is doing the presentation? Make it fast. So anyway, we have understood what this theory means. That is again a declaration of freedom for interpretation, writing. That is why death of the author, not the physical death, but a kind of staying away from the authoritative stand or authoritative position for a text. We came to notice down with the Roland Barthes, one of the major proponents of post-structuralism later. But in the beginning he was for structuralist points of views, but again later he shifted from structuralist position to post-structuralist position. So that is again possible, because we know people who opt for different political lineages year after year, or sometimes some people belong to one political party at a point of time in their life, and later they opt for something different. The same way theoretical positions also can change, and that's what happened in the case of this person called Roland Barthes. Okay, so what post-structuralist critics do, that's what we will see here. And after coming to their stance, we have to know what do they do with a text once they have something at hand. Okay, so here they read the text against itself so as to expose what might be thought of as the textual subconscious, where meanings are expressed which may be directly contrary to the surface meaning. Please note down the term surface meaning. What do you mean by surface meaning? I told you about the kind of traditional or already approved meanings which we are comfortable with. Or in one way or other, a teacher gives you a meaning. A poem is there for you to study, and teacher reads out something for you, and then you take that meaning for granted. Or you as a person who knows a language, you get a writing in that language and you read it according to your basic idea, basic knowledge of the language as well as meanings of the terms, without going in search of the deeper aspects. So that is what you mean by the surface meaning. And what happens in post-structuralism, it is they read the text against itself so as to expose what might be thought of as textual subconscious. So these terms, conscious, subconscious, this we will discuss once I teach you psychoanalytic criticism. Then you will come to notice down, then we will come back to this later. But still we will have to know there is every chance that a hero can become villain, or a villain can turn to be hero. So this is the way we have different meanings. So the text is reading against itself. Till date, we have been holding a person to be very good, very proper and prompt in a text, or and again later we come to notice down different loopholes or some other challenges to impose all the positives on him or her. So we notice down, oh, that conversation makes us feel that, or that dialogue on the part of that character makes it visible that he is a patriarch. Okay, the stance he takes in life in that particular moment makes it clear that he is a chauvinist, male chauvinist. Or a woman, okay, she has been taken as an epitome of worth and virtue, but this stand is somewhere really problematic. So this is the way, once we analyze a text very deep, only in such a theory, such a stance we can do that. Poststructuralism, or whichever theory that delves deep into the subconscious or unconscious of a text. This is almost like conscious, you are fully aware of your ways and deeds, all those thoughts, everything. But from unconscious, sometimes when it comes, it is almost like you are crying when you are dreaming. You feel like you are in the midst of an attack or some kind of another turmoil, some problem, but you feel like, but you are talking out of your unconscious. So in the same way, poststructuralism tells that a text is liable to have both conscious and unconscious part or subconscious that is not really readily available. You can find out that unconscious, you can get that unconscious out only after an in-depth reading. You are in search of an in-depth reading of the text. You are not just reading the surface. So that is needed in post-structuralist criticism. And second one, they fix upon the surface features of the words, similarities in sound, root meanings of words, a dead or dying metaphor, and bring these to the foreground so that they become crucial to the overall meaning. That is another thing. They find out, they are in search of the old archaic meanings of the words, or epistemological roots, connection of the word. What do you mean by epistemology? It's a study of the meaning, origin of the meaning of words, origin of words, right? So this is the way they connect with the epistemological studies. So they go in search of some epistemological connection of the words, which we have at present a particular meaning. We have a very beautiful example, but that will be introduced to you only later in next semester when we study this theory as such from beginning theory text. Now this is just a part, and this is again as a literary term. You do not have to be confused with all those. So do not want to. Okay. So this is again at a basic level. You please understand, post-structuralism is as such about delving deep into the text and finding out something really hidden inside, or which is not really readily available to us all of a sudden. Okay, I take a poem and I read it just even without checking out the dictionary for the unknown meanings, unknown words. The words which the meanings which I am not really sure about. Still, I try to assess the whole plot line or theme line from my basic idea, understanding of the whole of the text. But here the reverse happens. Each and every word you are in search of. Each and every meaning you are in search of. Okay, so that is what is happening in post-structuralist criticism. And they seek to show that the text is characterized by disunity rather than unity. When you read a text and you have a basic understanding that, oh, this text, that particular person is the hero, this woman is the heroine, and other characters, you just draw this very surface and very simple connection between the events and the characters. But once you start analyzing it so deeply for post-structuralism, then you will understand that this text is characterized by disunity rather than unity. All of a sudden you feel that this hero is not actually the hero. He is not really appreciable at that length. I will get you a very beautiful example again from our context later, only after explaining this. Okay. And the fourth one, they concentrate on a single passage and analyze it so intensively that it becomes impossible to sustain a univocal reading and the language explodes into multiplicities of meaning. Please note down only these points. That is not a univocal. Univocal means single meaning. That is, you have a poem and the teacher comes and gives you that meaning, which is again she or he takes from some other sources which is already established, approved, and you people, 60 of you get that meaning, and you are really happy about the same, and you study it either by heart or you just understand the points, and again same thing you recreate in your exam paper, all over, everything over. So this is what is happening in your traditional reading. But the post-structuralism is entirely different. They tell that multiplicities of meanings are possible. That's why I gave you the example. I get your poem to read, the whole class, 58 of you can come with the 58 different meanings maybe. As per your understanding. You may be having different levels of thinking. And that is possible. At least some 20 varieties you can get if it is given to some 50 people. Some meanings may be somewhere you may be having same ideas, and the meanings may be somewhere, the readings may be somewhere similar. But even in that case, at some points you may vary, and those meanings and readings are different. That is why they say that they stick on to the idea that it explodes into multiplicities of meaning. Okay, so one person notes down a metaphor, one person doesn't note it down, another person notes down a synecdoche, another person may be talking about the meter or rhyme scheme and the importance, the relevance of the same in the whole of its theme. Okay, so this is what is happening in your in-depth reading, and which is really impossible for us to go on within a surface level meaning. It is not available when you just search for the theme or plot line or storyline with our normal mode of reading. This is something abnormal mode of reading. This is again sticking on to one particular paragraph, passage, and the entire meaning may change. Okay, and the last point, they look for shifts and breaks of various kinds in the text and see these as evidence of what is repressed or glozed over or passed over in silence by the text. If you are reading the text it's like a glozing over manner. What do you mean by pass over or gloss over? It is almost like you read the text or your notes while you are having examination the next day. When you take this page, you feel like, oh, next page. Then when you start reading that page, oh, I forgot to read the other page. So you will not be giving importance to any of the pages, any of the points, any of the paragraphs so deeply well. And this is what happens in our normal reading, which is almost about glozing over or passing over in silence by the text. Okay, so these discontinuities are sometimes called fault lines, geological metaphor referring to the breaks in rock formation, which gives evidence of previous activity and movement. Please don't worry about this during this semester. Actually, this is from beginning theory text, and I just wanted to get you some basic ideas about post-structuralism. So normally I do not teach this at a UG third semester, this part. Deconstruction, with that short part actually we wind up the discussion, but this time I just wanted to try with this because it's good that you have an idea at present at this stage itself, but if you cannot study these points well, you just leave that. But please don't leave the point that a text it's read against the grain, as well as it's not a surface level reading, but you are going for a deeper level analysis of the text. These points you please note down, but the last fifth point, if you find it difficult to study, just leave it and find out the other points. Okay, so that's all with the final part which we left out for that today. And today I declare this session on post-structuralist criticism to be over. Okay, so that's all with it. Thank you.